In today's video, we're going to add a health bar to our stamina bar here. We're going to have a health bar, and we're going to see how we're going to do damage and heal the player. So let's get started. So first of all, I want to duplicate the stamina bar that I had put down. So I've got this stamina bar right here. Let me just go to the 2D view here. And I can look at this here. Okay, so, and in here we had this manager. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm just going to duplicate the stamina and call it health. And we're going to get rid of this stamina manager. We don't need that. So we have health, and then we want the fill area to be red instead of yellow. Okay. And then we're just going to move this down to 0 to maybe minus 10, something like that. So then we have two bars, one's stamina and then health. Okay. And if we want, we can also create a parent to these, just because we can make it and give it an image, actually. Image. And then we're going to put these inside there. And then we can move this panel. So that makes it easier to move them around. And let me, it's going to make it a little bit bigger. And then move these around again. Okay, there we go. And then this can, and then use the alpha to turn it down a little bit. So there we go. And then we can go so that's good. And this, oh yeah, and then in the variables here, we'll add a health variable here. Actually, I'll duplicate that and call it health. And then we'll associate this down here to health. We got our bar ready. Now we just need the logic to increase or decrease the health. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put inside the player, we'll create a health manager. And then in here, I'm going to do a trigger. And we're going to look for an event. So signals, receive the signal. You can call it damage taken, maybe. And then whenever the damage is taken, we want to decrement the variable. So increment number. The health. And we can, we're just going to do minus 10. Minus 10 for now. Okay. And then we need another trigger. For call it heal received, and then we'll just copy that and add, let's say the heal would be like 50 points. So all this will do is listen for those, and it'll increment and decrement. We also want to make it update the health bar as well. So you could either do it right in here, or you could just go fully event based, and then just inside this have inside the HUD itself we could have a HUD manager that will be responsible for just updating this. So basically a UI manager, I guess, and then all it's going to look for is an update trigger. So we'll receive a signal of update health, and then all we need to do is update the slider that we're part of here, the health slider, and we'll update it from the global name the variable and health. Okay, so now we will just, and then we'll just set, so increment, and then we will emit that signal, which is called update health. Okay, so update health, and then we'll also have that same instruction here. So both of those will update the health after they have taken damage or received healing. So let's call it, let's create a capsule, and we'll call it health pack. So if we collide into this, then it will emit as that signal. So let's look for a collision. And we can make it a trigger. So we can have a floating health pack. Let's see where that is. That's way over there. Let's put it down there. And then it's going to have to be smaller. So 0.2 maybe. So let's just put it here. And create a material. Let's do a red. And we'll give it to the health, pack. There we go. Intake, so there we go, red. And let's see that, yep. Okay, so if the player enters that trigger, and make sure we have it the player is tagged as player, otherwise it won't work. So if we get a collision, then we want to emit the signal heal received. And then we can destroy ourself. So it'll destroy itself, health pack, once it tells that there's a heal received, and then this will catch that and update the stats. Now, if it goes over the maximum, like 100 should be the maximum, so we could create a max health. Let me clone that and call it max health. Okay, and then so it has updated health. So after it updates the health, we want to run check a condition, and we want to compare decimal. We're going to see if it's greater than 100, then we'll set it equal to 100. That way it won't go over the max. So let's see. If health is greater than max health, then set number, and we'll set it equal to max health. So there we go. So yeah, so if we go over the max health, we set it equal to the max health. This one we want to check if we go below 0, then we want, I guess the player should die. Let's see. If it's less than 0, then we can change the character to killed. And then maybe, I'm not sure what that's going to look like, but we'll see. And then we want to load the scene again, reload the scene. There's current scene, active scene. And then we'll put a wait 3 seconds on that. So kill the player, wait 3 seconds, and reload the scene so that it reloads the scene. So that should do that. Let's see. Because it went to 0, so we want to less than or equal to 0. So that's the health. So the health pack is going to work. We can create a prefab of that so that we can put more than one in the scene. Make them float. And then we want something to be able to damage the player as well. All right, so let's create a cube that will damage the player. I'll call it damage cube. So what we'll do is, it has to be a trigger because the physics events are all based on triggers entering and exiting. So we can do trigger enter, and the players collider, and then let's see, we can log a text to see if a collision is detected. And let's see, where is this? Yeah, and we'll give it a material, an orange material. Okay. I can't. Okay, there we go. Okay, and see what happens. We touch it, we'll go through it. Collision detected. Okay, so that'll work. So what we'll do is if a collision is detected, we're going to emit a signal damage taken. So you could even make this like an area on the ground that if your player walks over it, it would damage the player. So let's see. And then in the health manager, I just want to more quickly die, so we'll just say minus 50 here. And let's see what this does. See if I can walk over it. I guess that's fine. It needs to be higher up. That's all. Well, this has to be higher up, I think, otherwise it's not going to work. Let's see. Let's see if this works. Collision detected. And then, oh, we just died. Kill player, and then it reloads the scene. So there we go. And then, so if we, so let's see, and then we can heal up as well, which is good. And then we can, so anything area to damage, and we can have health packs. So that's it for this video. In the next video, we're going to see if we're going, how we could convert this health and stamina system over to using Game Creator 2 stats module, and we'll see the differences on how to use the stats module instead of just regular core module. So stats are a little bit different, so we'll take a look at that next. So like, subscribe, comment down below, and we'll see you in the next one.